Hi guys, my name's Carissa, this is my channel, and today I am going to be doing a Q&A. So I have expressed both on my channel and on my blog that the fall is really hard for me, that when the days get darker and shorter, it is kind of difficult for me to adjust. I have what is called seasonal affective disorder, and I will do a video on that. I think it's gonna come out next week, where I talk a lot about like what I do to cope with that and what I do as self-care and to keep going and stuff when winter hits. Until then, I asked for your guys' help because I need a little bit more prodding to make a video recently. So I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram, and now I am going to try to answer them. I am going to try to answer a lot of these questions very fast, and then if you guys have follow-up questions in the comments, I will try to chat with you in the comments and stuff, because I haven't got around to my comments much lately, and I thought that this would be a really good time to do that. So we're kind of gonna rapid fire through these. The first question is, did you attend university? If so, what did you study? I attended every university in my area, and I think I went to school for interior design, speech pathology, business, and social work. Is that it? I think so. I have got dismissed or excused from every college that I have enrolled in because of my grades, because I am not a good student. I do not do well with authority. Some people are excellent students. I am not, so I never graduated. This question is, do you think you will ever have kids? I do not think that Nate and I will ever have biological children. Our kind of dream scenario would be to foster children, maybe when we're in our like 40s and 50s. This might sound like really silly to some people, but what we would like to do is foster older children and help them go to school and kind of create a family for them to, you know, grow up with, even though maybe they didn't have that family when they were younger. So yeah, that's kind of our little dream goal. Crystal also asked, do you just do YouTube or do you work another job as well? Do not work any 9-to-5 job. I just run fatgirlflow.com and the Fat Girl Flow YouTube channel and all the social media sites and everything that goes with that. Lots of people ask me for advice on dating and stuff. I do have like a little video about that, so I will put a card up here for the video. I think my best advice for dating, honestly, especially when you think about like the special or unique circumstances that plus size people might have when they are dating, is to remember that like honestly, everyone in the world has special and unique circumstances when they are dating. Like, I know this is probably going to come off in a way that like I maybe don't mean it, but realizing the kind of common humanity in dating and in social interaction, and not always thinking that you're like some unique special thing, really makes dating so much easier, because you realize that, you know, no matter who you date, no matter who you are, you have some special set of circumstances that the person getting to know you is going to have to overcome. And just being able to like remain vulnerable and try to remain as open to possibilities as possible really is the best that you can do. In the dating world, like everyone's just fucking doing the best that they can do and nobody really knows what they're doing. Someone asked, how do you handle a kink that your significant other has that you might not be fond of? Not one that might be a hard no, but something that you just kind of are like, meh, no thanks about. So I guess I think that if your significant other has a kink that of course doesn't harm anyone, and isn't a hard no for you, that you don't actually have like serious boundaries around, but you're just kind of not into it, I think that's a really kind of great way to integrate porn into your relationship. Integrate porn into your relationship kind of sounds like a weird phrase when I say it, but I mean it. And you know, sometimes sex can just be about your significant other or your partner just like having a really good time and not so much about you. And I think that like watching porn with your partner and seeing that they're having a lot of fun, that you're like, you know, that you're taking part in this thing that they really like. For me, that's fun because I see that my partner is having fun and that makes it fun for me. Of course, if that is not fun for you, then I recommend doing nothing and possibly encouraging your partner to watch that porn on their own. Another kind of sex-oriented question from Mags McGills, who has a YouTube channel that you guys should go follow because they are fantastic, is do you or your partner experience any dysphoria? Does that affect your sex life or personal libido? If so, how do you deal as a couple? Nate and I definitely have both had experience with dysphoria. I would say that definitely in the beginning of our relationship, we struggled with it more during sex because like when you're first getting to know someone, they don't really know everything about you. So they might say or do something during sex that can trigger dysphoria for you. As we've been together longer, that happens far less frequently. But the thing we did when dysphoria would trigger our libido during sex is just stop. While having sex, while engaging in the act, being able to just say, stop, I feel weird, having your partner completely validate that and stop with you and kind of ride that emotion out with you. I think that that's just like really strengthening to a relationship, and it shows that, you know, your partner isn't just there to have sex with you or isn't just there for your body. If that affects your libido so much that like say you don't want to have sex, then don't have sex. Nate and I personally go through kind of ebbs and flows, and there are plenty of times where one of us doesn't want to have sex or both of us don't want to have sex, and we just don't have sex for like a while, I don't know, a couple weeks or whatever. Because honestly, if you're having like dysphoria with your body, trying to share it with another person and trying to like do the intimacy sex thing while you're feeling all fucked up about your body, that's just not something I can personally do. It doesn't mean that that's not something that you could practice, I guess, and you know, learn how to do. That's not something that I can personally do. My partner knows that even if his libido isn't where I want it to be, I can have sex with myself. Having sex with myself is totally fine. So yeah, we just communicate about it, we let each other know what's happening, and we just talk about things outside of having sex. Just last night, I was like, let's have sex, and he was like, nah. I was like, okay, I guess I'm not having sex tonight. Being able to hear no from your partner and just like let them be with their body and, you know, all that shit. It's good. It's good. What are you and Nate's hobbies outside of fashion and YouTube? Currently, Nate and I play a lot of Pokemon Go. Nate and I also spend a large amount of time with our family and friends. We really like going to parks and stuff. Nate really enjoys building things, working on cars. I am personally obsessed with scary movies. Nate does not love them that much, but he does watch them with me sometimes. If it is sunny outside, usually even in the fall, then I am having a picnic somewhere. Nate and I go on picnics a lot. Are those hobbies? I think so. I think those are hobbies. What are you most proud of not relating to YouTube and work? My relationships with other people, my relationship with Nate, my relationship with my best friend, my relationship with my siblings, with my parents, with my cousin, with my aunt, with new friends that I make. Oh my gosh, this is so silly, but like my people are like my thing. My relationships with my people are like, you know, they're the thing that I am the most proud of. Next question is, if you could say one thing to yourself in high school, what would it be? I would tell myself to slow down. I think my last semester of high school, I skipped something like 45 days of school or something like that. I had like a lot of feelings growing up. I was a very anxious kid. I really struggled with some mental health stuff. Like, I just don't ever remember like sitting down and feeling like a kid, you know? And now, like when I go over to my mom's house and I'm sitting on the couch with her, like I just want to like lay on her lap and let her like pet my hair and just like enjoy her being a mom and me being a kid. Yeah, you know, I was just like, I was in a big rush and I would tell myself to slow the fuck down. Pretty much impossible to tell someone in high school that, so I wouldn't have listened. The next question is from my girl Molly. She also has a YouTube channel that you should definitely go follow. She asked, will you touch on mental health stuff and fatness? Also, I want to know how you keep a healthy relationship with social media when it's your job. So about fatness and mental health. Having mental health issues is just generally fucking painful and awful and hard. And you experience kind of this lifetime of not trusting health practitioners because they don't listen to you because of what your body looks like. Kind of build this huge distrust of the medical industry. I think it makes it harder to deal with mental health stuff. And I don't mean that everyone else doesn't have it really hard. Of course, it's just always hard to deal with. But I think that it is exceptionally difficult for people who have had really bad lifelong experiences with doctors. And I think that that happens in fat bodies a lot. As the problems that people in fat bodies face become more mainstream, I think that the medical field will catch up. I think that dealing with mental illness stuff will get a lot easier. But you know, how long will that take? Who knows? Who knows? So in regards to having a healthy relationship with social media when it's my job, I honor my feelings. If I do not feel like posting on social media, I don't do it. I have made Fat Girl Flow something that I get revenue from many different sources. So if I don't post on social media for a little while and I take a minute to myself, then I'm okay. My pocketbook is not getting hurt. I'm not, you know, at risk of not having dinner if I take a break from social media. So, you know, you slowly learn your boundaries and you learn what you are and are not willing to share. And I'll be honest, sometimes it gets really lonely because for a long time, social media was like my outlet to my fat community. The truth is, I don't know how you maintain a healthy balance. I'm still navigating it and I will always be navigating it. And I think that it kind of changes day to day. This one's a lighter question. In 3 words, how would you describe the perfect kiss? I would say biting, tongue, soft. I'm nasty, y'all. You know, when I was younger, I might have had different words, but I'm fucking going all in with kissing these days. Several people asked what happened with the Fat Boy Flow YouTube channel. I do not know. Nate is his own human being, and we started him that channel and I kind of got him going on it, and it is up to him to do it. You know, we'll see what happens with it. I absolutely encourage you to go to his Instagram, Fat Boy Flow, and ask him what he is doing with that channel. Next question is, if you had to stop doing YouTube permanently for any reason, what type of work would you go back to make a living? I saw this question on my Instagram last night and no joke, I must have sat and thought about it for like 20 minutes. I have no clue what I would do. This is what I want to be doing. This is where I want to be. I hope it goes on. I hope it lasts for a little while. Plaid Squatch asked, I know you've mentioned in the past that to get out there as a plus size blogger, there was a lot of pressure to amp up the femininity. What is your experience of the expectations of gender meshed with the perceptions of fat bodies, if that makes sense? Yes, it absolutely does make sense. Nate and I were just talking about this the other day. Nate and I recently bought a car, and when we went out looking for a car, I wore sweatpants, I had my hair in a ponytail, I didn't have makeup on, I had on a sweatshirt. In my day-to-day life, when I am not wearing makeup, when I am just like hanging out, I look fairly masculine. I don't go out of my way to show off my breasts or my waist or my hips or anything like that. I really just wear like a t-shirt and jeans, no makeup, and I wear my hair up, and that's what I'm good to go like that. And we went to buy a car and I was of course dressed like that because like that's how I dress. People really kind of treat me like trash. I do not know what other word I could use for that, but we actually had someone at the car dealership ask us, oh, did you guys just happen to come into some money? No, fool, we work really fucking hard. We didn't come into anything. I'm actually a fucking fashion blogger. I just happened to be wearing fucking sweatpants today. But then like the other night we went out and I wore a really long dress and I got my makeup on and all this, and like when I go out and I am dressed feminine as a fat woman, you guys should see the amount of compliments I get. I mean, I get compliments left, right, and sideways. We were in like a busy kind of downtown area and I couldn't walk a block without getting a compliment. I think that a lot of that just goes back to people being surprised that fat people can like wear makeup and look fucking beautiful. And here's the thing, I love that I can prove that wrong. I love that, you know, people see me and they're like, holy shit, she's so pretty. I didn't know fat girls could be that pretty. Great, now you know. Now you fucking know fat girls can be that pretty. But also, I wish I could like wear around a fucking sign that says, I'm also super fucking hot when I look like a dude. Gender and fatness is obviously something that I feel very passionate about and that I still really struggle with, because people's perceptions of me change so drastically just based upon me wearing makeup or having my hair done. And that is a mind fuck. Like, that is a major mind fuck. To have people in your community treat you differently because of what you are wearing, or whether or not you have makeup on, or whether or not you look acceptably fat. It's kind of a heavy thing to think about, and the truth is I try very hard not to think about it a lot of the time. I just try to kind of wear what I want, do what I want, and it's always there. People's perceptions are always fucking there, and yeah, they can be really heavy and really fucked up. Okay, this is the last question, and it's kind of an intense one. How do you find a balance between body positivity, fat positivity, and consumerism? As much as I can see how wearing the right thing can make us feel more able to be body positive, there are obviously people who can't afford to buy, or who don't want to buy something to feel better about themselves. I find it difficult as a poor fat girl that I can't follow a body positive fat girl online without talk of buying something. So this is actually something that I think about in my personal life a lot. I am first and foremost a body positive or fat positive activist. I am also a person who really enjoys clothing. So when I started this whole fat girl flow thing, I decided that basically what I would do is start a style journey and kind of see how my style changed and evolved through getting to know myself with fat positivity. When I started this YouTube channel, when I started my blog, I quickly realized that if I want to do this full time, I have to, in some way, shape, or form, show people things that they can buy. I can sugarcoat that a million different ways, but that is the fact of the matter. My job, the thing that puts food on my table, is people buying things from affiliate links that I put up in my videos or on my blog posts. I know that people think you get a lot of money from YouTube for views. I make about $300 a month from my views on YouTube. It is obviously not something I would be able to live off of doing full time. So the question I constantly have to ask myself is, how can I be a body positive, fat positive activist and advocate for fat people who are poor, who still have every single right to feel good about themselves? How can I do that and continue to also care for myself and make sure that, you know, I make money and that I make a living? And my channel is kind of that compromise. I will be very honest, being a fat positive activist is fucking hard. The hardest thing I've ever done. When I get on YouTube and I talk about my eating disorder or diet culture or, you know, a lot of things relating to body positivity, people don't just say things to like hurt my feelings. They are saying things about my values, about my value system. Put on my activist hat. I also put on a type of teaching role. I try to give to my community a better understanding of things. And that takes a lot. It is exhausting. It is a type of emotional labor that I did not know existed before starting this whole fat girl flow thing. Point of me saying all of that is that if I were to have a YouTube channel that centered only around fat activism, I would melt away and hide in a corner and never make any money and would be emotionally incapacitated. That is the absolute reality of how I feel about full-time activism. There are certain people who can do it. I am not one of those people. So I tried to create a channel where I could also celebrate style and clothing and try to show people their options. And more importantly than showing people their options, I really want people to see a visible fat body in those options. I never want anyone watching my channel to feel like they must be coveting everything. It is so important for you guys to know that most of the clothes that come into my home immediately exit my home. I wear sweatpants and t-shirts most days. I love clothes. I love playing dress up. I love taking pictures in them. I love style. I love all of those things. But all of those things are absolutely not something that determine your worth as a human being. And I never want my channel to make it seem like you have to be buying things for you to look a certain way or for you to have a certain value as a person. As much as I would like to just be a YouTube persona or just be a fat activist, I am also a human being who has to make a living. And we live in a world where people must buy clothing and they need somewhere to go to find their options. So I fill that need, and it helps me maintain my balance of fat activism on both my channel and in life. Yeah, it's all kind of symbiotic. I would love if someday I could have a channel that only talked about fat activism. The reality is that when I do that, I am not met with rave reviews most of the time. A lot of my ideas are not mainstream ideas. I hope that anybody who watches me knows that if my fashion videos are not your jam, I am going to be doing other things. If you ever see me not doing other things for a while, it is likely because I'm having like a personal thing happening. I know a lot of people get concerned with like selling out and stuff, and the truth is sometimes those fashion videos, they are what save me mentally from kind of quitting everything. So, you know, there's a balance, and I hope that we can all kind of share that and see that and be in it together. The last question that I am going to answer is, who are some of your favorite vloggers? I am fairly new to the YouTube community. I actually only follow a few people. A couple people I mentioned earlier in the video, but I also really like Thrift Thick. Tatiana Mercedes is one of my absolute favorite channels. I'm not sure if they are actively uploading, but they're fantastic. The Fat Lip is a good one. I will be very honest, the only thing that I consistently watch on YouTube, my brother has a channel where he shows like little outings with him and my niece. I watch his channel. I believe it is called Frankly Fathering. I'm not sure, but I will link to it. And I think the only like true vlogger that I follow that I am like obsessed, I think that their vlogs are to die for beautiful, is Julian, I think it's Solomita. He's Jenna Marble's boyfriend, and he has a vlog channel, and he uses a drone and has like badass music in his vlogs, and his vlogs are just like, oh, they are so gorgeous. They're what I hope my vlogs get to look like someday. So I definitely watch his vlogs just like because artistically I think that they're really pretty. Alright y'all, that is it for this Q&A. Thank you so much for asking all of those questions. You really helped me get out of a little filmmaking rut to get this video made, and I appreciate you immensely. Until next time, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you then. Bye!